AI coaching is not about content, it is about context. So a lot of people think that a really good AI coach should do exactly what a human coach does. A human coach is trained to not give you answers, but to ask you open-ended questions to help you find the wisdom and the answer that you already have within yourself, but with an added dose of processing and courage to help you unleash it from within. That is so valuable when a human is doing that with you. But is it really what we should train AI to do? Other people say AI coaching should give you advice because, hey, it can crunch immense amounts of data and surface the right insight at the right time. So it should take in the frameworks of an organization, such as how this organization prioritizes giving feedback. Does it have, the situation behavior impact framework or the SL2, or there's so many different frameworks that organizations train their people on. It should have that inside of it. It should also have core values, other frameworks, leadership competencies, and so that it can be training people to the right behavior that the organization wants everyone to live out. And I would say you actually need a combination of both of those plus high personalization. Because if people are just getting, hey, here's what your organization wants you to do type of advice, what is really in it for them? Even without bad intentions, just consider that all your people are so overwhelmed. So when they're really needing help, they don't need to understand a generic framework. They need to understand how to apply it to their person, to their situation, to their constrained resources. And this is why we strongly believe that the best AI coaching is grounded in behavioral science. Those assessments so many organizations already spend so much money on, such as your DISC, your Enneagram, 16 types, Gallup-Clifton strengths, the list goes on. When AI coaching can be grounded in that, as well as really being able to understand how to ask a good question and when to ask a question versus when to do what only AI does best, which is crunch a ton of data and give you some insight and sometimes even advice. That is what the best AI coaching can do. And another thing about it is it's not just based on the individual. It's not just based on what they tell the system, so it's not having an echo chamber, and it's not also limited in just the understanding of that one person. A truly top-class AI coach needs to understand the full team dynamic. It needs to understand beyond what the one person is saying and what is really happening inside of all the other people, because that is how it can not just reinforce what you want it to say to you, or not just give you advice based off of a very limited view and a very limited understanding of your teammates, but it can truly help you understand the perspective you don't yet have because it's not yet yours. But I'll be honest, most AI coaching tools are answering the wrong problems. When we are just asking open-ended questions with an AI coach, well, feedback is that feels pretty robotic and it doesn't feel natural. When it's happening with a human who cares about you and who's with you, that is such a different feeling than when it is, especially when it's just in text chat. But even when you're talking to a robot and it's asking you those questions, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel as caring, and it's not as insightful in getting you to go deep yourself. And also, when your AI coach is giving you generic advice or frameworks that are one size fits many but not really individualized to your situation, it can feel like a good to do, a should. You should do this, but it doesn't feel like something you need and something that is truly going to relieve the pain that you are in and help you in the current situation you are facing. And this is why the data that goes into an AI coach and informs how it is responding back to the person is so critical and needs to be so vast. Your AI coach should understand all of the data your organization has on you, your performance reviews, your tenure on the team, your employee engagement scores, your psychology, the projects you're facing. It should understand your teammates, especially, and org hierarchy and power dynamics. When it can understand all all of that, as well as your core values, leadership competencies, frameworks, when it can understand all of those things put together, that is when you have an AI coach that is informed well enough to understand you are walking into this meeting, you are more detail-oriented than anyone else here, you are presenting a strategic plan, and your organization strongly has a core value of fast decision-making. What do you need to do? How do you need to adjust your detail orientation to get it high level and strategic enough for people to be informed at the level they need to make a well-informed yet fast decision? An AI coach can know those things, and it can ping you 3 minutes before that meeting with the advice and the insight that you need to be successful.